We do have a new game today. The game is called Inhuman Resources. The developers of the game were very nice to give me a key to the game. It's a game where we play, like, it's a story RPG game, kind of. Like, it's a story game where, like, we're an employee at a corporation, and the corporation is, like, Cthulhu-esque. It's very human on the surface and very not human everywhere else. So we kind of have to try to survive this corporation without having horrible, horrible things happen to us. So, you know. There are 3 deaths. The first is when the body ceases to function. The second is when the body is consigned to the grave. The third is that moment, sometime in the future, when your name is spoken for the last time. The phone call. The insufferable screeching drills deeper into your skull. You throw back your dirty blankets, blindly reaching for the mist-begotten beast. You've acquired old cell phone. It's a flip phone, literally, chat. Damn, okay. It's your aunt. Aunt/landlady. Should you really ignore a call from the one person still willing to support you between jobs? Press the accept call button, or you can't deal with this right now, hang up on her. The music is so good already. Yeah, it's very ambient and creepy. Accept? Okay. Hey there, sweetie. Sorry for calling you out of the blue. You wince and make up a half-baked lie, pretending to talk with your mouth full. Your aunt doesn't seem to buy it. Anybody else have this happen before? Your family calls and you're like, they're like, why are you still in bed? You're like, oh, I'm not in bed. No, you're in bed. F you, we know. So I'll get straight to the point. Do you have any idea when you'll be able to send me last month's rent? You feel yourself deflate, glancing to the tower of rejected job applications. So we have choice now. You have no choice, beg for more time to pay again, or lie to her and everything is under control. What do you guys think? Do we lie to our landlady aunt who we owe money to, or do we just beg for more time? I'm not quite sure myself. I'm inclined to just lie about it and hope for the best. Maybe. But, like, isn't honesty also the best policy? But she seems already condescending enough. So maybe we do the lie? So, yeah, she's a nice little lie, exactly. Of course you'll get the money. You have tons of promising interviews lined up. One is bound to work out. All you get is her bitter disappointment. Sweetie, if this is how you behave during interviews, it's no wonder you haven't been hired yet. I'd be more willing to forgive delays if I knew you were actually trying. As your eyes drift over the sorry state of your apartment, your ramblings soon turn to tragic silence. You've been immune to the stench for a few months now, but no amount of time will ever make you blind to the altars of wretchedness your neglect has erected. Pigsty or not, there's no denying that this whole unemployment business has been taking a serious toll. It's not your fault those stupid companies won't hire overqualified geniuses. She's right, you're scum, worse than scum. She should just evict you and get it over with. And you're sick of pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. Can't someone else pull them for you? I would definitely say the overqualified genius line. I love that one. What are these choices? This game, man. Yeah, it's a very morose kind of game tone. I kind of like it. Society's failure to accommodate gifted minds is extensive and well documented. From Bill Gates to Albert Einstein, many talented individuals only achieved renown after escaping the confines of institutional education. And you, obviously, are destined for similar greatness. Your aunt doesn't sound convinced. Honey, all of those people you mentioned actually achieved something after dropping out. You've acquired college dropouts? What is this game? This aunt is snarky and sassy. Part of me thinks she's goals and the other part of me wants to smack her. I already like the game's tone, it's nice. Remember, sweetie, in our world, choices matter. Anywho, enough of that. The real reason I'm calling is because I might have an opportunity for you. You can tell by her inflection she means a job opportunity. You salivate at the thought of your unrelenting financial woes finally coming to an end. See, there's this problem employee at our company. He works at one of the local branches right next to where you live, but the man has a terrible attitude and is even more terrible when it comes to, well, whatever it is you think we do over there. Oh, that's creepy as f*** already. That last line. This is foreshadowing if I ever heard it, chat. Right there. Foreshadowing. Good luck, sweetie. I hope you'll forgive me for this someday. That's not what I want to hear you end a phone call on, auntie. Of course! We've been expecting you! She gestures at a set of nearby couches, but you're more surprised to notice someone else already sitting there. Could this be another applicant for the job? An irritated customer. Your aunt never mentioned competition, and if they turn out to be competent, you could be in big trouble. You know what really scares me? When they smile and it doesn't reach their eyes like that. Exactly, Kyrie. That's why it creeps me out so much. You still have time to prepare for your interview, but probably not enough to do everything you want. You'll have to decide how to spend it carefully. Read through the pamphlets to find out more about Simnacorp. Melusine said she could answer a few questions. Why not take her up on the offer? Strike up a conversation with the irritated man. Maybe you could learn something from him. There's a magazine on the coffee table. Give it a closer look. I feel like reading through the finding out more of the company is probably important, but also she could probably tell us something, but she looks like she's like mind melded with something, you know? Strike up the conversation with the irritated man. Like, you could probably find weaknesses, but he's already irritated. It's gonna be kind of hard. There's a coffee table, the magazine, give it a closer look. I'm not sure if that's the best option here. I think maybe I'll try to learn more about the corporation here. You snatch a brochure that seems to cover the most interesting topics, hoping it'll contain some hints about your future 9 to 5. Welcome to Simnacorp, your guide towards success in a post-truth future. Post-truth future? Founded in the year redacted by psychotherapist Gertrude Borodin. Everything we do to protect our most precious resource. People like you. Using our revolutionary evaluation processes, we assign the person who's right for you at the right time and the right place. Guaranteed every time. What are you waiting for? You tuck the pamphlet back into the display and give the clock another glance. 3:51 p.m. You still have a few minutes left. Maybe enough to extract information from one of the people in the room. You take a seat next to the stranger, introducing yourself with a smile. Rather than ease the tension, the man scowls as if you were a clump of dog shit clinging to his shoe. The hell do you want? He doesn't look at all that angry, let alone angry at you. In fact, he looks mostly fretful. His name tag reads Emiliano. Wait, name tag? It hits you then that Emiliano isn't a company client nor a prospective candidate after the same job you are. He's a Simnacorp employee. Bravo writers, this is good visuals. It really is, and the writing is so good, and the pictures match very well. Look, pal, all your staring is going to give me a fit. Either speak up or back off, all right? Your aunt warned you how stressful this place was. Best leave him alone. Be compassionate and ask if there's something wrong. This is your chance to learn from someone with first-hand experience asking what this job is like. Compassion, learning, or leaving him alone? I kind of want to know more about the thing. Compassion's good and all, but I'm going into an interview in like 9 minutes. So I don't need to care about that. I need to care about, I think, how to pass the interview, right? Confused by your question, the man arches an eyebrow. So you're the one they're hiring to take my spot, huh? Should have known Burgard wouldn't waste time finding himself a new lackey. I've only got one piece of advice when it comes to working here. Don't. If I were you, I'd pack my shit and get the hell out of Dodge before any of those freaks could hand me a paycheck. No amount of money is worth the crap they put you through, and no amount of therapy will be enough to help you sleep at night. If you manage to make it through Burgard's interview, he'll put you through a mock evaluation. You've gotta treat every single question that asshole asks like it's a matter of life or death. Because your answers will have big consequences. Ask why your interview would have repercussions for him. Back away slowly before he snaps. Wait, why? Is it because my answers can kill him or something? As the question crosses your lips, Emiliano grabs you by the collar, jerking you closer. Ropes of slobber paint your face as he begins to scream. Didn't you f***ing listen? I'm not allowed to tell you. I'm not allowed. So get the hell out of here. My God, it's all changed coloration. You wish you could, but his grip is strong as stone and only growing stronger. No matter how much you struggle, Emiliano is not letting go. Mr. Aguilar, that's enough. Emiliano drops you instantly. Yeah, the color change, what the heck? It's freaking me out a little bit. You turn to thank your savior, only to choke on your breath once more. Standing in front of the elevator is, without exaggeration, the most massive man you've ever seen. He is taller than a fridge and twice as wide, and perhaps thrice as heavy. Friend, You have my humblest apologies. Sir, I'm begging you, just give me another chance. I swear, I'll do anything. Please don't replace me. Mr. Burgard's only reply is a disappointed sigh. Would you do me the honor of entering our meeting room's access password? If you're going to be working here, you may as well learn how to travel across the office. Just type in, oh my god, what the f. This thing, pi, this, and this. There we go. I hope you're as excited for this interview as I am, friend. At the risk of sounding biased, I have very high expectations for you. The woman who recommended you for this position, your aunt, I believe, she had nothing but great things to say. She assured me you are an academic visionary, too erudite and forward-thinking to have your intellectual potential constrained by conventional institutions of higher education. A mind that bold and gifted sounds like an essential addition for any Sermnicorp team. You answer the giant's compliment with an awkward chuckle. Internally, however, you are screaming. You knew your aunt was bound to bend the truth a little, to make your lack of a diploma seem like a winning feature. But the facts regarding your failed education seem to have gotten so twisted, they may as well be suffering from medically inoperable testicular torsion. Why testicular torsion, man? What? This is the weirdest description I've seen for a writing in a while, and it's still really good. But twisted so badly they may as well be suffering from medically inoperable testicular torsion is wild. Welcome to my humble office. Wait, then why did I write the password for your office? That's interesting. Huh. You wouldn't happen to be a fan of jazz, would you? I love jazz. Well then, I'm quite excited to find out what a fellow connoisseur will think of this particular gem. You can't make out a word they're saying except for the chorus verse, let's call the whole thing off. Potato, 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 let's call the whole thing off. That's what it's from, isn't it? That song? Gina and Herschel Gerwin, twins if you were wondering. Not a couple, despite all the turbulent rumors that once surrounded their odd relationship. I've never met them myself, but I do know they could have been bigger than the Beatles back in the day, the band's heyday. The biggest case of my career was making sure they wouldn't be. What does a human resource company have to do with ruining musicians' careers? Time to begin our little interview. Question 1. A runaway locomotive is barreling down a set of railroad tracks at uncontrollable speeds. So, this seems like character creation, chat. Because the first one seems like it increases knowledge and technical ability. Second one is physical ability. The third one is social ability. Oh, yes, go! So I was right. I gained technology stat literacy. Now, moving right along to question 2. Could you kindly rephrase your greatest flaws so that it sounds like your greatest talent? Or your greatest strength? Isn't this like the biggest interview skill right here? We all do this, right? Some people say, I try too hard. I do not want to hear any of that cowardly, I'm too much of a perfectionist, or I'm a huge workaholic claptrap. See, he knew exactly what I was talking about too. That, I confess, is an exceptional response. Computer science specialization, let's go. And technological literacy +2. I have 5 tech now? Holy crap. To tell you the truth, this little meeting of ours was nothing more than a corporate mandated formality. Between your aunt's glowing recommendation and the fact you showed up to our offices on such short notice, I knew from the very start that I'd be wanting you on board. I'm pleased to announce that my hunch has been confirmed, and I am most pleased to be extending you a permanent employment offer. You didn't just meet expectations, you exceeded them. You cannot help but sniffle as you extend your hand. Your entire hand is engulfed within a fist the size of a ripe cantaloupe. Now that pleasantries are finally done with, I suggest we proceed to the evaluation portion of our exchange. I'll start you off with an easy one. Let's say, hypothetically, that you're supervising a group of employees from a different company. They hired you to isolate the source of their decreased productivity, then remedy the issue. And it does not take long for you to identify the problem. One of their staff members is extremely troublesome. What do you think should be done to reestablish the client's baseline productivity? It took you so long to find a job, firing someone would make you sick, give them one more chance. This person should be laid off regardless of deadlines, they harm more than they help. Install software on their computer that limits access to non-work websites. I do not have child psychology specialization, so I can't use that. I think I'll use a tech one though. Let's use software then. This is exactly why I keep telling upper management we need fresh thinkers in the office. After all, how can slaves ever think to disobey if they were only allowed to learn obedience? Wait, what? What slaves? No one's anything about slaves, bro. What are you talking about here? Someone, somewhere, is screaming. Now let's say, still hypothetically speaking, that our problem employee has a more specific shortcoming. He is utterly unwilling to cooperate with one of his coworkers. Teach them better values. Yeah, let's go with that. You're absolutely right. Too often do we believe people act in certain ways by default. You see the handprint of a bloodstained palm slapping against the looking glass. Obeya looks over his shoulder, seeing the red stain. You wait for him to react, to gasp or even scream. All he does is harumph at it. I really need to put more pressure on that janitor. Is something the matter? Shake your head, you must be hallucinating. What's going on back there? What kind of evaluation is this? How does what we said translate to bodily mutilation? The first one might have. The second one was us actually overriding personalities. Well, at least I said what I said was maybe you got to teach them to do differently, right? Like, but you know, via reprogramming in a social sense. And I think he took it literally, like, oh yes, we can reprogram his entire personality. And so they might be doing like some sort of like an eldritch horror surgery on this guy to make him into a different person, you know? As stated previously, contractual obligations prevent me from revealing classified company details. However, I assure you, this is all standard Simnacorp procedure. Now please, control yourself until said procedure is completed, or I'll have to contain your outbursts by any means I deem appropriate. You don't like the sound of that? Play along for now. Procedure? What procedure? Tell me what's going on or I'll call the police. The second one is a bad idea. I can't get out of here right now. Oh, fuck this shit, I'm out, right? As a former surgeon, you should know it's not how it works. I mean, Magic 10. Eldritch Horror Magic. And as a former surgeon, I can tell you that your personality is located in your frontal cortex. If you excise that, you don't have a personality anymore. So it stands to reason you could probably reprogram that if you knew how to operate, how the brain itself operates. Now, regarding the conclusion of our conjectural conundrum. Let's say, and I can't stress this enough, that our aforementioned staffer is hypothetically assigned to contain a major data breach. One with consequences that could spell disaster for their company and coworkers alike. The sensitive nature of this task requires them to exterminate or indefinitely debilitate any individuals who have witnessed this leaked information, so that they become incapable of further dissemination. In this case, the information has only been accessed by two people, the employee's spouse and their prepubescent offspring. Oh no. Needless to say, our employee is reluctant to perform their duty and exterminate these individuals. However, if either family members remains alive, the company stands to lose everything. Furthermore, should they refuse to tie up these proverbial loose ends, you will be required to do so in their place, as outlined in your Simnacorp contract. In short, how do you ensure these targets perish as intended, and that this data breach remains contained, regardless of this problematic employee's hesitation? Okay, let's see here. Beg the employee to go through with it, killing those two people could save hundreds. Review security protocols to prevent these leaks from reoccurring. No one should kill their family to bury a company's secrets, there has to be a better way. And missing stat physical faculty. I'll use the computer science specialization though. When the consequences of failure are steep, preventing catastrophe becomes the priority. Thus, you stammer out countless cutting-edge security solutions that could stifle data breaches before they happen, as well as suggesting a few methods to kill the company's targets without getting your hands dirty. At first, you were terrified that Mr. Brigard might view your answer as a cowardly method to escape an unenviable responsibility. But rather than disappointment, the man's eyes widen with unexpected intrigue. You know, I've never really considered the precautionary potential of digital technology in such a way before. Those inventions always seemed too full of security flaws to ever be reliable. But I suppose my short-sightedness is yet another reason why your upcoming partnership with Radium will be beneficial. Two-way glass at the back suddenly turns transparent, revealing yet another room filled with aesthetic contradictions and logical anomalies. Your first urge is to scream, but your voice makes no sound. Perhaps your cries are deafened by whatever the f*** is going on. You stand before what seems to be a hospital operating room. We just walked onto the set of the saw movie. What the f***? Yeah, for real. They're being brainwashed. I thought so, right, Kylie? Kyrie, yeah. Doppelganger brainwashing. I think they're reprogramming a doppelganger for him. The muffled sounds of saws slicing through bone threaten to make you throw up. But instead, you feel your heart sink deep into that pit of nausea and realize something truly chilling. You recognize two of the people in that room.